or melancholy mists of the Seine River are shrouding Notre Dame Cathedral, Paris has a way of romancing visitors. The love affair may begin with a first glimpse of the Eiffel Tower, then continue with strolls along the wide tree-lined avenues and in lavish formal gardens. Visitors are seduced by the city's beauty. Each neighborhood, quartier, reveals its own distinctive appeal. The Latin Quarter is a captivating labyrinth of medieval pedestrian streets and narrow alleyways. The fashionable Champs-Élysées buzzes with energy and panache. Outside the center of Paris, Montmartre brims with old-world village charm and flaunts its bohemian past. After seeing the museums and monuments, tourists should seek out the small surprises, like family-run restaurants with handwritten menus, cobblestone lanes full of quaint boutiques, secluded squares adorned with flowing fountains, and elegant tea salons, where dainty jewel-like pastries beckon from pastry cases. In every hidden corner and at all the famous sites, Paris casts a spell of enchantment. One visit may inspire a lifelong passion. The Eiffel Tower, La Tour Eiffel, ranks high on the list of places to visit in France and is the most visited tourist attraction in the world. It's hard to believe that the structure was dismissed as a monstrosity when it was first unveiled. The iconic tower was designed by Alexander Gustave Eiffel for the Paris Exhibition of 1889, which marked the centenary of the French Revolution. The tower consists of 18,000 sturdy iron sections, weighing over 10,000 tons, held together by 2.5 million rivets. This innovative structure is now considered a masterful architectural feat and is the most emblematic site in Paris. Reaching 324 meters in height, the tower was the world's tallest building until the Empire State Building was erected. For first-time visitors, seeing the Eiffel Tower is an unforgettable experience. Upon arrival at the Esplanade, where the information desk is located, the sight of the four massive pillars that support this 10,100-ton monument leaves many awestruck. To arrive at the first level, at 57 meters, requires an elevator ride or walk up the 360 steps. This level has public restrooms, a gift shop, cafeteria, brasserie restaurant, and outdoor space for admiring the views. The second level, at 115 meters, of the Eiffel Tower is reached from the first level by a staircase of 344 more steps or an elevator ride. This level has similar amenities as the first level, except the viewing platforms offer a perspective onto more of the Paris monuments, such as Notre Dame, the Louvre, and the Basilique du Sacré-Cœur, and this level has a fine dining restaurant. The Michelin-starred gastronomic restaurant, Le Jules Verne, delivers exquisite meals of refined contemporary French cuisine in a spectacular setting. The restaurant's dining rooms feature expansive windows, which provide a peek of the Eiffel Tower's structural beams and look out onto the cityscapes of Paris. To reach the top level, at the dizzying elevation of 276 meters, requires an exhilarating elevator ride from the second level. Visiting the top level is one of the most thrilling things to do in Paris, but it's not for the faint of heart. A sumptuous palace that was once the home of France's kings, the Louvre is the most important of Paris' top museums. Visitors enter the museum in the courtyard of the palace at the Glass Pyramid, designed by Éo Mingpei in 1917. The Louvre displays 35,000 artworks, many considered masterpieces, from antiquities to European paintings of the 15th to 19th centuries. It is impossible to see it all in one visit, but tourists can focus on a particular gallery, such as classical sculpture, Italian Renaissance art, or 17th-century French paintings, or take a self-guided tour to see the Louvre Museum's highlights. The most famous piece is the Mona Lisa or La Gioconda, or La Joconde in French, painted by Leonardo da Vinci in 1503 to 1505. Many tourists breeze through the museum just to glance at this one piece, but there are many other must-see works of art to admire even if time is limited. Among the top highlights of the Louvre are the ancient Venus de Milo sculpture, the monumental victory of Samothrace of the Hellenistic period, the immense wedding feast at Cana painting by Veronese, 1563, Botticelli's Young Lady with Venus and the Graces fresco, and Liberty Leading the People, 1831, by Eugene Delacroix, depicting the Parisian uprising of July 1830. To get the most out of a visit to the Louvre, tourists should join a guided tour. The Louvre Museum's Skip the Line tour takes participants straight to the museum's most famous artworks, including the Venus de Milo and the Mona Lisa. On this 3-hour tour, a guide, who is an art historian, provides in-depth commentary about the masterpieces. The Louvre is surrounded on one side by the Jardin des Tuileries, one of the loveliest parks in Paris. The celebrated landscape architect André Lenotre created the Tuileries Gardens in the formal French style of the 17th century, with perfectly manicured trees, statues, and pathways. Park benches and café restaurants with outdoor seating invite visitors to relax and enjoy the scenery. Notre Dame stands in the heart of Paris on the Ile de la Cite next to the Latin Quarter, an island in the Seine River. The Ile de la Cite is the historical and geographical center of Paris. On this small plot of land, the Romans built the Gallo-Roman city of Lutetia, and from the 6th century to the 14th century, the kings of France resided here. The Cathédrale Notre-Dame de Paris was founded in 1163 by King Louis IX, St. Louis, and Bishop Maurice de Sully, and the construction took more than 150 years. The cathedral was first created in early Gothic style, while later additions, the west front and the nave, show the transition to High Gothic style. This impressive medieval monument is a triumph of Gothic architecture. Tourists are immediately struck by the ornamental design of the facade, with its profusion of sculptures and gargoyles. While elaborate flying buttresses provide structural integrity for the enormous building, visitors should take a close look at the Gallery of Kings above the doorway on the elaborately detailed west facade. Rows of 28 intricately carved figures reveal representations of the French kings, from Childebert I, 511 to 588, to Philippe Auguste. These figures lost their heads during the Revolution. The heads are now on display in the Musée de Cluny. After admiring the decorative doorway, enter the sanctuary to take in the grandeur of this immense vaulted space. The sanctuary seems almost endless and beckons visitors with the light of flickering candles. The interior is illuminated by magnificent stained glass windows. The most noteworthy window is the rose window in the north transept. This stunning work of art features 80 Old Testament scenes centered around the Virgin. Note: a large fire in April of 2019 caused considerable damage to the cathedral. The medieval roof and the 19th century spire collapsed. The extent of the damage is still being assessed. At this time, the interior is closed to the public. The most monumental boulevard in Paris used to be a desolate field of marshland until the 17th century, when it was landscaped by André Lenotre. A century later, the Parisian city planner Baron Haussmann designed the boulevard's elegant buildings. The Champs-Élysées is divided into two parts with the Rond-Point des Champs-Élysées as its intersection. The lower part of the Champs-Élysées, bordering the Place du Concorde, includes a spacious park, the Jardin des Champs-Élysées, and the Petit Palais Fine Arts Museum. The upper part, extending to the Arc de Triomphe, is lined by luxury shops, hotels, restaurants, cafes, cinemas, and theaters. This bustling area draws many tourists and is a gathering place for Parisians.